Here's your space sip.
What's a
refretted?
and what are you?
I'm a carnivorous
Guitar or bass?
and I'm in a bad mood.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of the Kingston refret series. So, before I begin, like and subscribe to the video so you get cooler stuff like this. We got a lot coming up. So what we need to do before we do anything, first things first, we need to check how much relief do we have. This needs to be dead on straight, zero relief before we start doing any sanding on the fretboard. Also, secondly, before we start sanding, we need to make sure that we mask this area off properly, so no marks from my sanding gets to any of the body, and it keeps it nice and fresh and completely clean, or as clean as we possibly can. So, the materials and the tools that I'll be using for this video are, first and foremost, the StewMac 12-inch radius block, StewMac Fretwire, a StewMac nut file. That is, basically we're going to want to get a nice clean flat and straight plane for the nut to be seated correctly. A StewMac fret and neck level. That lets us know how much relief we have or don't have. And a fret slot saw. This is a .023 inch kerf. I got this from Philadelphia Luthier. Sheffield. It's made in England. We also need a small little triangle file, because we're going to chamfer the edges before we insert any fret wire. And then we got a nice little StewMac fret dress file. So this isn't really an advertisement for StewMac, but I then realized how much actually I have of this. Awesome. I almost forgot. Last but not least, a StewMac depth gauge. So this lets us know how deep or not deep the fret slot is. So basically, yeah, if I need it to go deeper if I need that fret slot deeper in order to insert the frets, this will let me know if I need to file, or if I need to saw it down, or if I need to, yeah, basically just leave it alone. Alright, so let's check the neck relief on this. And there is some. It's kind of hard to see from that angle, but got some neck relief here. See some space. Got to tighten this up. Alright, so I found the right size Allen screw for this truss rod. I can't get it in here because of how basically there's no depth, so that's not much wiggle room. So what I need to do right now is I just need to take my Dremel tool. I need to hollow out a groove right here. That's before this, before this bar, so I can get an Allen screw in there, or an Allen head. Let's roll. Alright, so we have encountered a slight little problem here. Not a hard fix, just kind of sucks. So, as I was tightening this up, got it level. The fretboard started to separate from the top. So what I need to do is I need to add type on here and get underneath and then basically clamp that down, wait a few hours, and then we could start the process for giving this thing a fresh radius. So let's do that. In this case, I want the weight going down. And then we'll add glue and clamps. Awesome. Problem solved. This is all glued up and laminated correctly and well. That thing ain't budging. That's great. So now is our time. Let's start the radius. Let's give this thing a 12-inch radius to match what the bridge is going to do. Let's go. So one thing I want to point out, like right here, it's almost like, I feel like in the sand block, or the sanding radius block, I feel like the sphere wants to go this way. So I'm like constantly fighting it. And so, you know, right there, that proves my point right there too. Like, this is not sanded, that is. So, yeah, this thing definitely needed a fresh and, you know, straight, you know, this thing definitely needed a fresh and a straight radius, because this is, yeah, dude, I could just feel it tugging going like this. So whoever worked on this prior to me, whoever did this, you know, 30, 40, 50 years ago, really was just probably some dude in the factory just going like this, you know, it just didn't pay attention to it. So I just wanted to document that. So yeah, as I'm going through, I'm trying to just keep it straight so I don't have to, like, you know, so I'm not battling that, and I'm not jacking that up even worse than it is. I forgot to mention this, but the sand radius, or for the radius block, the grit that I'm using is 400 grit. So, this thing right here, this is a depth, like a slot depth gauge. So there are two black bars, right? So what I'm looking for is the plane of this fretboard over or under these black bars. If these black bars are under this plane, it's good. Or under its surface, it's good. But if it's over the surface, I need to file it or sand it, you know, I need to saw it down. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding a top layer of boiled linseed oil. I'm going to let this soak in, and then we'll start the fretting. We got a whole lot more to go with this thing. Awesome. All right, so we are in a position now as to which we need to remove this neck. When I do that, I'm going to test basically and look and see if these neck screws are threaded to both the body and the neck, or if it's threaded to just the neck. If it's threaded to both body and neck, that means that I need to take a drill bit and basically widen out these, widen out those pilot holes. So what I need to do right now is I need to remove the neck, and I would need to test these neck screws to see if it's threaded to both the body and the neck, or if it's just threaded to just the neck. If the neck screws are threaded to both the body and the neck, that means there's not an equal amount. There's a higher chance of there not being an equal amount of pressure being forced against the body. Widening the pilot holes will make that so there will be an equal number of equal amount of tension going into the body like that. All right, let's figure this out. So far, really tight. I think it's threaded to both the body and kind of half and half. It's a little loose on the top. But wouldn't hurt to give it, yeah, okay. So feels like it's mainly to the neck, which is good. But I feel like I'll need to take a drill bit to the body just to make sure. Alright, so as you guys can see, I'm at a different bench right now. What we need to do is bend this fret wire to match a 12-inch radius. Then I've got my fret press right here. I'm going to go for a different angle for when I start using that. But for now, we got to start bending this fret wire. So, this is how it goes. Just rock it back and put some light tension on there. Yep. Tighten her up a little bit.
Look alive, boys. Couple of stewed prunes heading your way.